Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This video is going to be doing my weekly review for Game of Thrones. This week's episode is Season 3, Episode 2, Dark Wings, Dark Words. Darkwing Duck! Anyway, so as you guys probably remember from last week, I wasn't too impressed with Game of Thrones Episode 1 of Season 3. Thought it was pretty slow, didn't really think it was too interesting. A lot of the developments, a lot of the dialogue, everything like that. It was okay. I thought it was average at best. A little bit of a letdown because Game of Thrones, I think, from the first two seasons, has put us at a point where we have really high expectations for the show. I mean, it's pretty amazing what they were able to do in seasons 1 and 2 on television. You know, that kind of quality on television, that movie quality. Especially the Battle of Blackwater, especially, you know, season 1 with everything with Ned and just... I mean, it's been a great series overall. So season 3 for me so far has been a little bit of a letdown. This episode, I thought, you know, better than the premiere. I thought so. Getting better, you know. Maybe not quite as good as a lot of the episodes from Season 2 and Season 1, but definitely on the right track. The first half of the episode for me was pretty slow, you know, slow to get started. A lot of dialogue, a lot of talking. Some of it was intriguing. Some of it was really interesting dialogue. And then the second half of the episode really picked up. Really excited to see how everything plays out between the Starks and Jamie Lannister and, you know, sort of all that whole breakdown is going to occur, and to see it on, you know, on TV rather than, you know, just reading it in the novels. So really excited for that, and definitely looking forward to that for the rest of the season. And I felt like this one really started to get us amped up for the season, whereas the first episode, really, a lot of the stuff probably could have been sped up or taken out, or just, it didn't really make me as amped as this episode did for the rest of the third season. I do like the longer episodes. Each episode now is a little bit longer than it was last couple seasons. And of course, as you guys know, many of you know that they're splitting up the book of Storm of Swords into 2 seasons instead of just 1, whereas previously they were doing 1 season per book. And I think that has a lot to do with the pacing, because it does seem slower paced in Season 3 from the first 2 episodes, even though I felt like this one wasn't too bad. That being said, let's go over a few things. My reviews for Season 3, since I haven't been so into it like I was for the first 2, may not be quite as long as they were before. I'll just summarize each episode, you know, maybe not go into as much detail as it was before. So things I liked about this episode, well, I mean, overall, I thought the second half of the episode was really exciting. The 2 points that, for me, are of most interest and I think are the most exciting right now in the show would have to be what's going to happen with Aria. I thought that was really exciting how at the end of this episode where we see the Hound again. Great character, love the Hound. Love some of his lines from last season. Probably his best line ever would be, "Any man dies with a clean sword, I'll rape his effing corpse." That is one of the most brutal lines I've ever heard. Love the Hound, even though he's not really on, you know, the good guy's side, the Stark side from the get-go. Still a great character. And another funny line in this episode here: "What in the 7 hells are you doing with the Stark bitch?" I love. She's just like a little girl, and he calls her a bitch. I love it. It's so funny. It's, I don't know, that he cracks me up. So that was great. Really excited for that. And also, Jamie Lannister sword fight with Breanne at the end. Pretty exciting. I thought that was pretty damn exciting. First good sword fight we've had this season. Actually, the first sword fight we've had at all this season, which was nice. It was kind of interesting to see, you know, because you're thinking like both of them are so skilled, who's going to win? And at the end, we kind of see that Brienne's getting the better of him. But at the same time, he is malnourished. He hasn't eaten properly. So maybe a healthy Jamie, I would think you'd have to go with to take that. But, you know, he's been, you know, captured and held prisoner for so long. Probably hasn't eaten hardly anything. So he's going to be weak. That's all there is to it. Still, that was a great scene. And, of course, the cliffhanger at the end with Bolton's son finding the 2 of them. Very exciting. Glad to see that Jamie, of course, doesn't reach it back to Tywin and to King's Landing, or at least not easily, not in one piece. Um, so those two developments pretty interesting. I did like a good amount of the dialogue with Sansa. I thought that was pretty cool when she told the Tyrells there about Joffrey and how he really is. Thought that was good dialogue. That was interesting, and the first part of it was a little bit slow, but then when she started to open up, I was like, oh, this is good stuff. The scene with Margery and Joffrey inside the his room type thing with the bolt action crossbow. I thought it was a pretty good scene. Pretty interested to see how she reacts to kind of learning. It seems like she's almost testing and trying to find out what Joffrey is like, with the things she's saying, trying to see how he'll react to some of the language he's using, like, talking about maybe shooting somebody with it, and if he would like that, kind of just to see, really quickly, how twisted is he? How twisted is Joffrey, and what is he really like? Also, when Joffrey was quizzing her about Renly, thought that was some good dialogue there as well too. Let's see, Bran, everything that happened with him. Starting to get a little bit more interesting, exciting with Bran. I mean, he's had a lot of... obviously, he was the character that started this whole mess from the beginning with what happened with him. But like to see that whole plot line is starting to become a little bit more interesting. That we find out that he's a warg and that he's going to have special abilities that the other characters don't have. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with him. I think that's a pretty good setup for the rest of the season and was fun. Let's see. Other than that, I mean, I don't really have too much else to comment on. Oh, the whole Theon scenes. The scenes with Theon, actually, as much as you hate Theon because he's a traitor to Robb, I mean, those scenes were so brutal, I felt bad for him. Like, I wanted the torture to stop pretty much right away. Thought that was pretty brutal. I mean, it was well done and everything, but well acted too. Oh, but it's just like, oh, it's so dark, man. It's so dark and so brutal. You just want it to end for him. Like, just kill him if you're going to kill him. Don't torture him like that. So, damn, that sucked. And, all right, let's see. North of the Wall, everything with that's pretty interesting. Mance Rayder basically telling Jon how he got all the different, these different tribes to all join forces into one huge army. And it's because, he basically brought a cause to them to march south. And if they could do it all together, then they've got a really good shot at just sweeping over and, taking over pretty much whatever they want to, or at least surviving themselves. Okay, and I think that's, pretty much it. A scene with Tyrion and Shay, that was a good scene. Gotta love scenes with Tyrion. I feel like Season 3, man, we haven't gotten enough Tyrion. He hasn't had enough to do, so it hasn't been, the show suffers a little bit. More Tyrion, the better. So that's that. That's pretty much all I got to say about it, guys. I mean, the scenes with Robb Stark were like, they were okay. Stuff starting to be set up that he maybe made a big mistake by not marrying Walter Frey's, one of his daughters, and doing what he wants instead. Selfish decision, but he also broke an oath there too. So that's not good. Obviously, things are going to start to go down south for him. Yeah, that works out well. So, in terms of a rating, I'm going to give the episode a 6.5 out of 10. I thought it was good, but it wasn't fantastic. And definitely like to see all these developments and some more excitement, some more good dialogue like that, and just see the show pick up again after the first episode. Because I felt like the premiere was slow. And even, from what other people were saying too on YouTube and everything like that, some people, they can't take criticism when it comes to stuff they love. And I do love Game of Thrones, but I got to be an honest reviewer when I don't like certain things. So there it is. That's all I got to say about that. And a decent episode, better than the first. So anyway, I'll call it here. I don't want to go on too long because I don't have too much more to say. So that's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, and I'm saying peace.